before Claire touched the stones, before Jamie Fraser picked up a sword, there was another love story bold, dangerous, and forbidden. The Blood of My Blood trailer opens a door to the past we've only heard about in whispers. And now, for the first time, we see the love that started it all. The story of Jamie's parents, MacKenzie and Brian Fraser. This isn't just another prequel. It's the roots of Outlander, the foundation of everything we know and love. And if you thought Jamie and Claire's love was powerful, wait until you see where that fire came from. The trailer begins with a wide shot of the Scottish Highlands. The mountains stand tall in the mist, silent witnesses to history. A slow, haunting version of the Outlander theme plays in the background, but it's softer, sadder, more ancient. We see a young woman on horseback, MacKenzie. Her face is proud but gentle, and her eyes hide a storm. Her red hair glows in the sunlight, just like her future son, Jamie. Then we cut to a powerful moment, Ellen standing in front of her clan. Her brothers speak loudly, arguing about marriage, land, and alliances, but Ellen's face doesn't move. She's not listening to politics. Her heart is already elsewhere. We see flashes of Brian Fraser, strong, quiet, and different from the MacKenzie men. He's not wearing fine clothing. He's not trying to impress anyone, but there's something in his eyes. When Ellen sees him from across the glen, everything else fades. There's no dialogue in this part, just music and glances. But the emotion is loud enough, instantly, that these two aren't supposed to fall in love. But they already have got the trailer shift's pace. We get a series of faster clip secret meetings by candlelight, hands touching in the dark, a stolen kiss under the moon. Then danger, a voice says, she belongs to the clan. Another shouts, he will not have her. We hear a sword being drawn, and suddenly there's fire. A barn burns in the night. Ellen is pulled away from Brian, screaming. He's held back by other men. For a second, we see blood on the ground, but the trailer doesn't end there. Instead, we see Ellen, running alone in the rain, her dress torn. Then a hand reaches out. Brian finds her. He wraps a cloak around her, and they ride away together. The music swells with hope. Near the end, the trailer gives us a softer moment. Ellen laughing, her head on Brian's shoulder, safe in his arms. A voiceover says, from love that defied the clans, a bloodline was born. And just before the screen fades to black, we see a baby wrapped in tartan. Ellen whispers, his name is Jamie. The final shot is a symbol, the Fraser crest, slowly rising from the mist, shining like a promise. The screen goes dark. The words appear, Blood of My Blood, coming 22/5. This trailer doesn't just show a romance. It shows war, betrayal, passion, and legacy. It's more than a spin-off, it's the soul of Outlander, told through the eyes of the two people who created its greatest hero. Every great love story begins with a choice. But Ellen MacKenzie's choice wasn't just about love, it was about breaking the rules of her world. She was born into one of the most powerful Highland clans, the MacKenzies. She was expected to marry for politics, not for passion. Yet when she looked into Brian Fraser's eyes, everything changed. This section of the prequel doesn't just explore romance, it uncovers the very heart of rebellion, pride, and the birth of the Fraser legacy. Ellen was more than just a lady of the Highlands. She was bold, sharp, and unwilling to be controlled. Her brothers, especially Colum and Dougal MacKenzie, had carefully planned her future to benefit the clan. They saw her marriage as a tool, but Ellen saw her own heart as the compass. She didn't want a life of quiet suffering in a loveless match. She wanted something real. And in Brian Fraser, a man with no titles or power, she found that Brian Fraser was the opposite of what her family wanted. He wasn't rich, he wasn't politically useful, but he was everything Ellen didn't know she needed. He was calm where others were loud, loyal where others were greedy, and loving in a world where affection was rare. He came from Lelybrac, a land of quiet strength, and carried with him a kind of inner fire that didn't burn to destroy but to protect. Their love wasn't accepted. In fact, it nearly caused a war between clans. According to Outlander lore, Ellen vanished with Brian one night. She left behind a wedding dress, defied her family, and never looked back. That choice was the beginning of a new chapter in Highland history, because from that union came Jamie Fraser, a man who would go on to change the fate of his family, his country, and time itself. The trailer gives small hints of this legacy. We see a softer side of Brian that reminds us of Jamie's deep sense of honor. We see Ellen's fire, her fierce eyes, and her willingness to fight for love, just like Claire. Their story is a mirror one that reflects everything we've come to adore about the main series. But it also stands on its own. This prequel finally gives voice to two characters who shaped everything, yet were always in the background. Through flashbacks, letters, and stories told by others. We knew bits and pieces of Ellen and Brian, but Blood of My Blood brings them fully to life. Their love wasn't built through time travel or fate, it was built through courage and risk. And that's what makes it unforgettable. In the end, Ellen and Brian Fraser are not just Jamie's parents. They are the soul of the Fraser name. They teach us that love isn't always easy, but when it's true, it's worth everything. Their story proves that sometimes the strongest bloodlines are born from the boldest hearts. To understand Blood of My Blood, you must first forget everything you know about Claire's time travel, Jamie's battles, and the Jacobite rebellion. This is not the world we've seen before. This is older, wilder, and much more dangerous. The trailer drops us deep into a time before maps were trusted, before the clans united, before Lelybrack even had a name. It's Scotland in its rawest form, and the story takes place in the space between loyalty and survival. This prequel is set roughly 20 to 25 years before Jamie Fraser's birth. That means we're likely in the early 1700s, long before the doomed Battle of Culloden, and long before Claire ever steps through the stones. At this time, the Highlands are ruled not by kings, but by clans. Power doesn't come from laws, it comes from bloodlines, swords, and alliances made through marriage. Ellen MacKenzie, being the daughter of the MacKenzie chief, is seen as a valuable prize. And Brian Fraser, a second son with no great title, is seen as a risk. But the setting isn't just about dates. The trailer shows us a Scotland where honor is more important than life. You see the tension in every corner between tradition and rebellion, family and freedom. Castles are cold, but the glens burn with secrets. There are no redcoats, yet only rival clans, secret oaths, and whispered betrayals. The people speak in older Scottish dialects, wear darker tartans, and move like shadows. It's a time where one wrong look could start a feud that lasts generations. We also get our first look at a younger version of Castle Leach, the Mackenzie stronghold. But it's not as grand as it will be in Claire's time. It's rougher, surrounded by mud, and guarded like a fortress. Lelybrack, the Fraser lands, appear to Wilder untouched, not yet the peaceful haven we know from Outlander. You can feel that these lands are still being shaped by war, by love, and by blood. One powerful moment in the trailer shows Brian Fraser looking out over the moors as men ride toward him. He stands alone, no army, no banner, just a man. It tells us everything we need to know about this world. Here, men must stand alone to protect what they love, and women must choose between their clan and their hearts. The stakes are not political, they're personal. And every choice echoes across generations. Fans familiar with the Outlander books and show will recognize the setting, but Blood of My Blood gives it new meaning. The Fraser and Mackenzie clans are not just history, now they are the center of the storm. This prequel takes us back to the roots of everything. It's not just the past. It's the soil that Jamie and Claire's future will grow from. This time period doesn't need time travel to feel magical. It already is. The air is thick with tradition, danger, and love that burns through boundaries. And in the quiet hills of early 18th century Scotland, the most powerful story is about to be written not in books, but in hearts. What if Blood of My Blood isn't just a prequel, but a message hidden in plain sight? Fans who watched the trailer closely noticed more than just romance and war. Behind the slow glances and whispered promises are secret, subtle symbols, background details, and lines that feel far too carefully placed. These clues hint that this series may not only retell the past, but reshape the very future of the Outlander universe. One of the most curious clues is the recurring use of water and mirrors. Ellen is seen standing near a still lock more than once, and Brian's reflection is shown in dark pools of water. Could this mean more than simple scenery? Fans are wondering, are the showrunners teasing time echoes or foreshadowing deeper connections to Claire's timeline? Some even believe these scenes might include a hidden reference to the Standing Stones, quietly building a thread that ties Ellen's world to the time-traveling events still to come. Another major theory revolves around the phrase whispered in the trailer, "Love is stronger than law." It's not just romantic. It echoes something Jamie once said to Claire in the early seasons. Could this be more than a coincidence? Some believe Jamie's core beliefs were directly inherited from this exact love story, not just by blood but through passed-down values. In that way, Ellen and Brian's choices don't just set up a family, they create the very emotional foundation of Outlander itself. There's also mystery around the new characters. The trailer flashes glimpses of a hooded figure watching Ellen from the shadows. He never speaks, he's never named. But the internet is full of speculation. Is he a rival suitor? A spy from another clan? Or something even stranger like a secret druid or time-aware traveler trying to influence events? This one moment has already started dozens of fan theories across Reddit and Outlander forums, and let's not forget the banners and crests shown in the background of key scenes. The MacKenzie banner seems older, darker, and slightly different from the one used in the main series. Some believe this change isn't just design, it could represent a hidden rift or secret alliance lost to history. One theory suggests that Ellen's marriage didn't just upset her brothers, it may have sparked a quiet war behind the scenes that Outlander never showed us. Until now, the biggest question, though, is what this prequel means for the future of the franchise. With Season 8 of Outlander being the final chapter, Blood of My Blood arrives at the perfect moment, not just to continue the world, but to deepen it. It reminds us that Jamie didn't just appear as a strong man. He came from generations of sacrifice, stubbornness, and deep love. It also opens the door for more spinoffs. What if we get a series about young Murdoch? Or the full MacKenzie family? Tree? The universe is vast, and now, richer than ever, Blood of My Blood isn't just for die-hard fans. It's for anyone who believes that stories never truly end. That behind every epic love is another one waiting to be told. And if the trailer is any clue, this story is going to change everything we thought we knew about the Frasers.